exact location, which not very beneficial for this game what we're playing right now, which only benefits being fast, being close, and we jump right in.
We jump right in. And Debre also someone who doesn't have a lot of games down in this Pro League so far, therefore the win rate isn't really telling us anything. And we start off what looks like the United States.
Yeah, coastal United States, somewhere on the East Coast probably.
Yeah, we have the water towards the northeast.
And we have an area code.
It's 301. I'm not sure what that is.
Debre seems like the person to know
Could
area codes.
MDA be something for Maryland A? Because
Maryland
he is
A.
in Maryland.
Maybe. Feneb scanning a bit of the coast, thinking, where could this be? He goes Long Island.
Yes.
Didn't spot a yellow plate, but
Yeah,
let's see where it is.
was indeed Maryland. Yeah, MD is the abbreviation for Maryland. I don't know if it did have something to do with it. I don't know what information Debre used, but Debre is also known to be very good at the US.
Yeah,
Knows a lot of stuff.
He knows every single county in the US, if I'm not mistaken. So
And
now we have some information,
Range
which is...
Road and Township Road.
Yeah.
We are in Canada. They are both swimming in immediately in Alberta looking for those. There's a certain pattern to those range roads and township roads in Alberta.
Yes, but they reset at certain points,
And
so you can
yeah,
find
you-
the double right thing. So it's always hard to know which one you're really on. You have to combine maybe the landscape a bit with the sectors you can be in.
Yep, and
So
they
let's see who
also
can find
reset
this.
very, as you said, very randomly. Not really bordering any town or anything like that. However, we have a guess down from Debre on the 290 and 13.
And I think Feneb is on the exact same spot as well.
So, don't think that's saying 290.
We will see. But as we said,
Yeah.
both of them finding the same road, but they found the exact same wrong road. Debre with the GG.
Yeah.
That's always a thing that happens
Fair.
in Alberta. Always very funny to see.
Not uncommon, and we are in Australia, and Feneb is from Australia. Will this be an advantage for him here, or will Debre also show off his Australia knowledge? We are in somewhat of a forest. We have this red car, which used to be only a couple areas. However, now you see it way more often and in way more areas. Looks like perf to me, though, especially with the red soil.
Yeah, also the red car, very common around Perth if it's not like summary coverage.
Yeah,
quite
especially
like the
in a
region.
forest like this. However, it is quite mountainous there. Yeah. I like the south hover of Feneb there. Somewhere south of Perth where you get more of these mountains.
He's zooming in, trying to find something.
Couple state forests there, and they both end up being there. However, who's gonna be closer here? And it is Feneb. It is even further south. Looks quite surprised. And striking back a little bit.
Yeah, he will take those few points, but not very crucial to this entire game.
But really, and again, we have a sign on spawn.
Zamboanga del Norte,
Zamboanga
very
del
good
Norte,
information.
yeah, they will both know this province in the Philippines. Both end up in the same area. Do we have more information besides that? I don't see a city name. Road
Yeah.
widening.
It says
Zamboanga.
Sindangan, which both found, but it's a road between two towns, which is being built. So it makes sense that it's between those two towns.
Yeah, and it also makes sense to just send this guess down and not really look for the 5k there in case we saw it happening. In case the opponent just moves away from the important sign at the start.
And I think Philippines is one of those countries where pretty much every single player in the Pro League will know every single province because the information is just so abundant and available in the Philippines. It's on so many signs, it's on schools. So you really have to know it. It's on every storefront pretty much. So you really need to learn those. But now we're in a country. Where are we? Are we in Brazil?
Given the language,
Well, this looks like Colombia then,
would say it's Spanish, yeah. Therefore it should be Colombia. And yeah, besides that, there's not much to work with.
Feneb zooming in very far.
As I said earlier, Colombia isn't really the best country to get information quick. However, Feneb did see some body of water. So he's guessing next to some body of water, but it was not the right one. And again, both players not really too close, but Debre getting a couple points. And we move over to round 6 with 3.5x damage.
And we are back. Debre is going to be happy again. He found an area code and he's instantly in. Wow, and that doesn't look like an easy area to get if you ask me. South
Definitely
coast.
not. I mean, we have water. That's good to know you are on the coast. However, the coast is pretty long in the US. And he ends up being in Texas. Let's see. It was indeed
It looks like it will be
Alabama.
enough.
And Debre will pick up the win here.
Yeah.
And his US knowledge really came in handy this match.
Yeah, it was basically decided by the US here. I think he meant like 5.8k office damage just in the US alone. So yeah, it really came down to that. 2 phone codes, 2 5ks, or 2 very good guesses by Debre. And that's all you need in the US.
Definitely. I know Debre had a little bit tough luck, I should say. He didn't get a lot of US locations in previous competitions. He was complaining about that. But now it is coming handy for him. And now we are, what seems like to be Cambodia with those houses on stilts.
Yeah, dry palm trees.
There, yeah. Just outside the capital, Phnom Penh.
And the question is whether Debre will need that NMPZ head or not, because I think he needs this win to get those 3 points, because as we said, he had a rough start. He's at the bottom, so getting a win here would be pretty big.
Definitely, and it looks like we are in India again.
Debre likes India. I mean, he played a lot of India.
I know he did practice it, but he did practice it a lot when it came out. Nowadays there's way more coverage, a lot more stuff to learn. So I don't know if he did keep it up. But yeah.
I don't think you can really keep up in India, because there's so much coverage getting released with so many different cars that are randomly everywhere. Definitely seems like a horror scenario to learn. And he just guesses the middle. Makes sense. Doesn't look like anything really.
You see Feneb trying to line up something, however, the blur doesn't really allow to see something. And yeah, they end up in the default hedge if you don't know what it is. You don't have any good clues, which are usually poles in India. I would say the best clue you can get is a pole. There are a lot of region-specific poles, however we didn't have any here. And we move on to this round in Malaysia. Driving left. We have a mile marker there, however I don't think you can read it. It is very mountainous, so the Sabah guess makes sense from both sides.
And
it
lining
will
up
come
road
down
again
to who is closer inside this region.
I really like Feneb's guess. It looks good on the map, but
yeah, I'm surprised about this. This is also something that has been out forever, the coverage in Sabah. It never really got updated, but still, it's just a couple roads there in the mountains, like maybe 4 or 5 roads. But they often look the same, and pro players still don't know how to distinguish them.
yeah, and the problem is there's actually a lot of Gen 3 dates there. If you look at it, there's often the same road driven 5 times, and you can randomly get panels from a different date.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this round, which looks very cool if you ask me. You have some construction site going on here.
We have
Black
this
car.
drainage along the road on the side, which is very common to be found in Malaysia or Indonesia. They are both in Indonesia, and it is Batam Islands.
Yeah, Batam, known for these like random hills with red soil. So Debre saw that and instantly guessed there. Feneb also getting the island vibe, but going for the Bangka Islands. which look quite similar, but...
Yeah, it is a very committed guess if you think about it. It's like so far away from a lot of other things that can be possible. So therefore a high risk, high reward here for Debre. And we move on to this round, very flat. I do agree with the Argentina. Plonk down. However, I don't see any mountains, which you usually get a bit more west in the country.
Oh, Debre spotted mountains, and that's why he guesses near Mendoza.
He did see some, yeah.
Because my guess would have also been Nukin if I didn't see the mountains, so I understand Feneb going there, if those are really mountains. Feneb is gonna be in trouble.
And it actually was, yeah, it was really hard to spot. You kind of had to trust that it is actually mountains and not like clouds or foggy coverage or anything like that. And Debre playing this out very well, very deserved 2-0, I would say.
Very cleanly. I think he lost like 1k points in the first thing, and now a flawless no-move game with some very good guesses.